Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, fans of the Browns. This story is really heating up. And if you've been following the team closely this offseason, you already know that the quarterback situation has become one of the hottest topics in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns, a franchise with a storied history, passionate fanbase, and high expectations, entered this season with a lot of questions about who would lead them on the field. And while they made their decision early, naming Joe Flacco as their Week 1 starter, the drama behind the scenes and in the depth chart is far from over. It's a storyline that could have ripple effects not just for this season, but for the team's future as well. Let's start by looking at the big picture. The Browns, after a series of ups and downs in recent years, have been trying to find consistency at the quarterback position. Last season, they battled injuries, inconsistent play, and some tough losses that kept them from reaching their full potential. But this offseason, the team made a clear statement. They are all in on Flacco for now. Joe Flacco, at 40 years old, might seem like an unlikely candidate to be a franchise quarterback, but let's not forget his credentials. He's a Super Bowl MVP, a player with a wealth of experience, leadership, and a calmness under pressure that coach Kevin Stefanski values highly. Flacco's leadership qualities and veteran presence are seen as stabilizing forces for this young team trying to find its footing. The Browns officially announced Flacco as their Week 1 starter, and that decision was met with some relief from fans and analysts alike. It ended the debate about who would be under center at the season's start. But what's really intriguing is what's happening behind him, especially at the backup quarterback spots. The competition for those roles remains fierce and unsettled, which could influence the team's strategy as the season progresses. One player who's been making headlines, or at least turning heads, is Shedeur Sanders. Yes, that's right, Shedeur Sanders, the talented quarterback who has been drawing attention not only for his skills, but also because of his potential to be a future star. Sanders had a strong start in his preseason debut on August 8th, throwing for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Carolina Panthers. That kind of performance, especially in his first outing, got a lot of people excited, and it made Browns fans wonder, could he be the future? But as is often the case in the NFL, things aren't that simple. Sanders' momentum was suddenly halted by an oblique injury. It's one of those injuries that can be tricky, especially for a quarterback. You need to be healthy to perform at your best, and missing practices, sitting out games, and working back to full strength can really set a player back, especially during a crucial preseason period where every rep counts. This injury has cast some doubt on Sanders' immediate future with the team, and it's opened the door for other young quarterbacks to step up. And those others include Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel, who are also vying for a spot on the depth chart. Pickett, in particular, has been limited since late July because of a hamstring injury, but he's recently returned to team drills. That's a promising sign, and it puts him in the mix. The Browns' quarterback room is shaping up to be one of the most competitive in the league, and that's not just because of talent, but also because of the strategic importance of having a reliable backup. Stefanski, the head coach of the Browns, has been notably circumspect about the depth chart. When asked about the quarterback situation, he's been careful not to reveal too much, emphasizing that he's focused on the development of all his players. He mentioned that he's not so concerned about the depth chart, honestly, which is a pretty telling statement. It shows that he's more interested in how the players are progressing rather than sticking to a fixed hierarchy. He also said that all of the quarterbacks, including Sanders, Pickett, and Gabriel, should prepare as if they're going to be the starter, a sign of a healthy, competitive environment that keeps everyone sharp. But let's be real, the Browns are likely to keep all 4 on their 53-man roster, at least for now. Stefanski admitted that it's an ongoing conversation and that decisions about who stays and who goes are tough. The NFL is a league where every roster spot counts, and keeping 4 quarterbacks isn't always the norm. Usually, teams carry just two or three, but the Browns' situation suggests they want options. This could be a strategic move, a way to keep talent and keep the competition alive until final cuts. And then there's Joe Flacco himself. As the obvious choice during training camp, Flacco has been a steady presence. His experience, leadership, and familiarity with the NFL game make him invaluable, especially in a season where the Browns want to balance youth and veteran stability. Kevin Stefanski has publicly praised Flacco's performance, pointing out how he's been really well in practices, in joint sessions, in meetings, and in walkthroughs. The team's confidence in Flacco is clear, and it's no coincidence that they made him the starter for Week 1. Stefanski didn't hold back when talking about Flacco's role. He said Flacco has earned it through consistent performance and leadership. That's a big deal because it shows the coaching staff trusts him to lead this team into a challenging early schedule. The Browns' first few games are no joke. They open at home against the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's just the beginning. They face a brutal stretch with games against the Baltimore Ravens, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and Pittsburgh Steelers, all of whom made the playoffs last year. It's a gauntlet, and having a seasoned quarterback like Flacco leading the charge could be exactly what this team needs to get through it with a positive record. Now, you might be wondering how all of this impacts the Browns' long-term plans. Well, that's the million-dollar question. The team has a talented roster, a solid defense, and a coaching staff eager to make a deep playoff run. But the quarterback position remains a question mark, especially if Sanders' injury lingers, or if someone like Pickett or Gabriel manages to impress enough to earn more reps and trust. The Browns are in a situation where flexibility is key, and the coaching staff seems prepared to adapt as the season unfolds. This kind of quarterback competition, with a veteran like Flacco, a promising young talent like Sanders, and the other two contenders, creates a dynamic environment that can push everyone to perform at their best. It also keeps the team's options open, which is crucial given the unpredictable nature of injuries and performance variances in the NFL. The Browns, front office, and coaching staff are well aware of how fragile a season can be, and having this depth at quarterback is a strategic advantage. Looking ahead, it's clear that the Browns have set a foundation with Flacco as their leader for now, but the door remains open for Sanders or any of the other quarterbacks to seize opportunities as they come. The injury to Sanders is a setback, but it's also a test of resilience. If he recovers quickly and impresses in practice, he could still be a part of this team's future. Meanwhile, Flacco's leadership and experience will be invaluable in these early games, especially given the tough schedule they're about to face. In terms of expectations, Browns fans are naturally excited but also cautious. This team has all the pieces to make a deep playoff run, but the quarterback position always adds an element of uncertainty. The coaching staff's trust in Flacco signals that they're going into the season with a veteran safety net, but everyone's eyes are on the young guns, especially Sanders, to see if they can develop into future starters or at least provide valuable depth. And let's not forget the entire AFC North. With teams like the Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, and Lions all loaded with talent and playoff experience, the Browns can't afford to have their quarterback situation become a weak link. That's why this competition is so crucial. It's not just about winning games early in the season, it's about building a foundation for the future, making tough decisions now, and ensuring that Cleveland remains a competitive force in the division. So, as we watch the season unfold, keep an eye on how Sanders continues to recover and develop, how Pickett and Gabriel step up, and how Flacco's leadership influences the team's performance. The Browns are at a pivotal point. They're balancing veteran experience with young talent, trying to find the right chemistry, and aiming for that elusive Super Bowl title. It's a lot to ask, but with the talent and determination they have, this team is definitely in the conversation. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this quarterback situation? Do you think Sanders can bounce back and fight his way into the starting role? Or are you confident in Flacco's leadership for the season? Maybe you believe Pickett or Gabriel have what it takes to surprise everyone. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. This team's future depends on the passion and insights of its fans, so don't hold back. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. This season promises to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we're right here with you, ready to cover every twist and turn. Thanks for being part of this journey, and let's go Browns!